Sometimes I have a problem to understand how the hell did this ship survive for so long. It's been 7 or 8 months since I got the Orthrus. It's still the only Orthrus with over 1,000 kills confirmed. Not quite sure when someone else will achieve the goal, but at the moment of me recording this Orthrus is still the only one with over 1,000 kills, which is quite the achievement. Now I've noticed a lot of inexperienced Orthrus pilots use their ship, and I've noticed a lot of them are using my build that I use against battlecruisers and battleships. Now 2 points are going to be more than enough to hold basically any target out there. If they have stabs, then even 3 points are going to be useless. So I recommend that you use dual points, 1 scrubber and 1 web. If you have to sacrifice 1 module for the scanner, then you can sacrifice the web, because most cruisers and most frigates will use a micro warp drive to catch up to a fast Orthrus. Basically, the build without the scrammer requires skill, and of course requires a little bit of tactical planning about the case when you get jumped by other frigates or cruisers that can actually catch this ship. Thankfully, I haven't had a problem to get jumped by a frigate or cruiser or interceptor. Usually the ships don't survive 1 or 2 hits from my Orthrus, and that mostly depends on how you pilot the ship, and of course I have very good skills on missiles, especially on medium missiles, and of course skills combined with rigs help at applying the damage on fast ships. So in my case, I really don't need a scrammer as defense, although I use the scrammer when I use the rapid missiles. Or you can make the ship work with rapid missiles without a problem. With the right rig build, you can get rapids over 45 kilometers, which is more than enough for the default range for this ship. Now, a lot of you have been asking me to show you some fails and some funny moments, and well, I decided to do just that. So, we have a Macarial on scanner, and well, I can't wait to go and tackle that thing. It's a faction battleship. I like to shoot faction battleships with the Orthrus. The Orthrus is one of the only cruisers that can tackle stabbed ships without a interceptor tackle or without the help of other ships. I'm warping in towards the Macarial. Now you might be wondering what can possibly go wrong. And I looked at local and I figured out that there is no neutral in local, only blues. Now when I landed, I thought to myself, should I go and just ignore the blue status and just cause another war in the game? Should I just, go cause a diplomatic incident here, which I'm known for doing for a very long time? My corp mates who are probably watching this are probably having a good laugh now, because they like to make the weird team killer joke way too often, although that nickname is well deserved if you ask me. I did shoot a lot of blues down, that's a fact. Nothing to hide there. And here I'm contemplating if I should just, go and cause another war in the game. Should I get myself and the corp kicked out of the alliance? I decided, because I think one of my corp leaders is actually online. I decided to wait until they're offline, and then I can just go and, shoot down a blue Macarial. But in this case, I just decided to not do it, and I warped away. I don't want to create more problems than I already did, so let's just chill out for a moment, and let's not shoot any blues for a while. Alright, well, on to the next target. I'm warping towards a asteroid belt. Now you might be wondering, why am I warping to an asteroid belt? Well, I have scanned a battlecruiser, which I believe is a bait, so there's the Hurricane. A battlecruiser in a belt, well, means a couple things. First thing, it might be a bait. Second thing, they might use that ship for mining. And, well, is this Hurricane actually mining with the Hurricane? Well, we are about to find out. They have been pointed. The shield on the Hurricane went down very quickly. They are now into armor. And we have local going up a little bit. So at first I believe that this is a bait, and this is one very tanky armor built Hurricane. That's a very good tank. Now here I'm taking range because I believe that the Hurricane called for help. Not quite sure what to expect here. I'm aligning myself towards the anomaly. Of course, I don't want to lose the target. It looks like it is a big ship on the way. So most likely just passing through. Okay, everything is under control. Alright, well, seems like this Hurricane was a bait. They have one large armor plate. That's a lot of armor there. That's a lot of armor on the Hurricane. They are using autocannons at this range. They should not have enough. They should not have enough range to hit me. So I am safe. Autocannons on the Hurricane have around 20 to 30 kilometer range. I'm at 37 kilometers, 39 actually. They do some damage, but it's nothing too serious, only scratching the shield. Hurricane almost in low armor. This Hurricane was a bait Hurricane, although it would be a better idea to put the Hurricane inside of a special anomaly at 0 on landing, then you can tackle basically any ship that warps in. That's one of the better tactics where you can catch expensive ships. Hurricane now into hull. I'm very curious about their fit. It looks like they have a damage control active from time to time. That's definitely a large armor plate. Not quite sure why they decided to camp a asteroid cluster. Would be better if they really camped a special anomaly at 0 in room 1 or room 2. Although I have to say, it is a good idea to combine damage control with armor plates. You can tank some silly damage with that. Hurricane lost the armor plate, and they also lost the damage control. One more hit and they should go down. Alright, nice. Let's take a look at the wreck. Very interesting. I have seen bait Omen Navies, I have seen bait Caracal Snipers, I have seen bait Ruptures, now I have seen a bait Hurricane. Interesting. Well then, let's warp towards the anomaly to wait out the timer, and then we can continue towards the next target. Well, we have another Hurricane on the scanner. Now, I have the neon gas core, but for some reason I don't use it that often. It is mostly because it still needs to be leveled up, although I have some good bonuses on it. One of the bonuses that I'm looking for at the moment is to improve the point strength. I believe I would definitely go for the strength over the range, because the strength can actually fight off stabs. And this is the Hurricane. I landed 17 kilometers away from the Hurricane. They took one hit, they losing armor, but they have stabs and they warped off. Well, this is fail number 1 for today, or fail number 2 if you count the Macarial as a fail. Usually the fails look like this. I mess up by not clicking on a point, or I mess up by not having enough points. Usually the fails consist of targets having a lot of stabs. Now, I have scanned the same Hurricane from before. I have 3 points, So I suspect them to have at least 6 points. And now I'm going to the station to quickly change my fit. We'll pick up 4 points and then I'm going to be running back towards the Hurricane from the station. And hopefully 4 points should be enough to hold that ship. Now with the Neon Gas Core, that's the next one that I'll be leveling up. The first one that I leveled up was for the Balgorn. The first 2 are for the Balgorn. And it will be slowly time to level up the cores on the Orthrus. Alright, have docked. Let's quickly go and change the build. Swapping the scanner for a disruptor. I have 4 points, let's undock.
Undocking.
Let's quickly run towards the Hurricane. It is the same Hurricane from before. Now let's see if they can run with 4 points. There's the Hurricane and let's warp 34 kilometers.
Warp drive active.
I have my fingers crossed that 4 points hold that ship. Okay, I'm landing on the mission. Music Thief. Well, they are doing another anomaly, another mission. It's not the same from before. Alright, let's see if 4 points hold them. They have been quad pointed. And they warp off. Death Wish Hurricane combined with not auxiliary, but combined with warp core stabs. At least 3 of them. That is one expensive Hurricane. Alright, let's go towards the next target. We have an Oracle. Serpentis Rally Point. That's the name of their encounter. There's the Oracle, and it looks like they are aligned. And they warp off. Alright, well. I was a little bit too slow. Could have caught the target if I warped on time. The thing about catching aligned ships is you need to warp in the mission the second they warp. Then you can catch them while they land. If you're a cruiser, then you will exit warp faster than a battlecruiser, and that's where you catch them. Of course, if they have stabs, then they are still going to run, but if they don't have stabs, then it's not a big problem. Now, there was one red in the system, and I warped to the sun. Did not scan because I was chasing, and we have a omen. A pirate omen at the sun. Is this another bait? That's the question. Well, we're about to find out. They have been pointed. That was a big first hit. And the second hit was more than enough to shoot down a cruiser. Not quite sure what they did to get criminal timer, but they had the timer. And I didn't scan the ship all the way through. I just clicked on the scan, so that there is a ship on the sun, and I just warped towards the sun. Okay, let's wait out the timer at the anomaly. That's a beautiful sun, by the way. They made the celestial objects in this game so pretty. Alright, well, let's go towards the next target. We have a prophecy lurking around. The prophecy about to get Orth pretty hard.
Warp drive active.
Orth fleet is currently up and running. That Orthus has a neon gas core as well. And looks like we are synchronized in our warp. Very interesting. Wish that we had 3 more of these ships in warp at the same time. That would look pretty good. Alright, there's the prophecy. That prophecy about to have a very bad day. Prophecy about to get orthed very hard. Prophecy has been pointed. Believe that we have 7 points on the prophecy. They're not going anywhere. Prophecy now in hull. 1 more hit should get the job done, and the prophecy has been destroyed. Alright. Let's go get the wreck. Nice work on the second Orthrus. The Orth fleet is something that I actually enjoy. It's very fun. It's very silly to see a couple of these ships just swarm something. Hopefully very soon we'll have 5 or 6 of them in a fleet. That is going to be very silly. Alright, we have another ship that I have scanned.
Warp drive active.
They are at the large anomaly. There is 4 in local, so I have to be careful. 5 in local now. Again, did not scan the ship all the way through. I just clicked on the scan, saw that there is something in the anomaly, and then I just warped towards the anomaly. And we have a prophecy. Second prophecy for today. Okay, let's quickly point them. A little local spike there. I believe that this might be a trap, who knows. First hit. Deleted the shields of the prophecy. The prophecy now into 40% armor. I'm preparing to warp away in case anything jumps in. But this prophecy is not tanky enough to be a bait, so I believe that I should be safe. Prophecy built for range, I believe. Because usually... And it's a shield tank prophecy. Oh, okay, that explains it all. That explains it all. Let's go and check out the wreck. And then I have to warp away from this position. Opening the wreck. Or not. Mark 7 drones. Yeah, I actually like my Mark 7 drones. I have around 5 billion only in drones in my hangars, I believe. I believe it's around 5 billion. Not quite sure, I have to check out that. But I have a lot of drones.
Warp drive active.
And surprisingly, I was quite lazy to sell stuff. Usually I get my ISK from PvP, but lately I've been a little bit too lazy to go and sell that stuff, so it's been lurking around in my station. Let's do one more scan. I'm very curious to see what else is in the system. We have 12 stations and 6 in local. There is one ship that's in space. Let's quickly scan it down. And they warped away. Okay, that's okay. I guess they got notified that I have scanned them. Next target, we have a Caracal Navy. Let's quickly go and engage the ship. You know, surprisingly, Caracal Navy is actually a good kill. The last couple navies that I've shot down did drop some Type C missiles, which are quite expensive. So I like to shoot the ships down. Sometimes you get pretty good loot from them. You never know what type of fit they have. And today I had a lot of fails, so I just had to go and shoot something down. Surprisingly, not every day is that great when I go out and hunt. Sometimes the bad luck just kicks in and well, things happen. Mostly the target escapes, or in some cases I don't find anything, or the target sees my name and they just quickly warp away. Lately, actually, when I think about it, in the last maybe 2 weeks, I've noticed a lot of players just run when I pop in the system, and before that it did not affect my roams that much, but lately I believe it's starting to affect the roams. I believe it's starting to affect the roams slowly. I guess that's that's the price that I have to pay for being known pirate in the game, and that's okay. I'll definitely find a solution to that problem. Who knows, I might actually have to make an alt that I'll use for solo roams.
Warp drive active.
Depends, we will see what will happen. That was a nice kill, by the way. Okay, let's go towards the next target.
Warp drive active.
Let's warp. Communication jammer search advanced. Alright, interesting. And well, in mid-warp I noticed something very silly. I am in high sec. You cannot shoot player ships in high sec. This is something that happens from time to time, especially if I'm very sleepy, like in this case. And well, I was wondering why I can't light that Rapture on fire. They are in high sec and they are very safe from any incoming fire. So let's just warp away. Let's pretend that never happened. Alright, well, I am in Null. I have seen a ship. We have a RB doing something very interesting in Null. They're at a scout anomaly. Let's go towards them. I am in the Ashmu. This Ashmu built for scanning, as we can see. It has a scanner, large Nosferatu web, and a point. One thing that I look to be nerfed in the upcoming patch are warp core optimizers. They really need to have a drawback effect. It has to be something at least in, let's say, a hit on the capacitor maybe. Maybe having warp core stabs should affect the ship's warp speed, the ship's line speed, agility, things like that. I don't know. But it definitely needs to have some drawback effects. Because at the moment, warp core stabs are very silly.
Warp drive active.
Okay, warping towards level 2 of the scout anomaly. I expect a very experienced RB because they are in Null. This is tier 7, tier 8 space. And they are using Mark 5 drones. And somehow they are actually doing pretty well here. Very interesting. Let's go quick towards. They are 73 kilometers away, a little bit far away for the Ashmu. And of course they warp out. Well then, let's warp to the planet. I believe they have warped to the planet. Let's find out.
Warp drive active.
Or maybe I can sit here and camp the mission. Not the mission, camp the scout anomaly. The Ashmu is after all a ambush ship. Pretty good for that job. Almost dropped my microphone there. That was the noise that you just heard. Oh well, they went to the station, or to the gate. Yeah, they went to the gate. Well, that was a nice attempt at least. I admit defeat. Got outplayed by a tier 6 RB. GG. GG. Okay, we have another target. Basically, right when I logged in, I just noticed something lurking around. I am warping towards it in my Ashmu, because at the moment my Orthrus is in the other station, 18 jumps away. Omen Navy and a red Omen Navy. Interesting. Well, let's go and tackle the Omen Navy. It is a red target, so I'm not going to complain much. They are trying to warp away, but I was a little bit too fast, surprisingly too fast for an Ashmu. They have been pointed. The Omen is a armor tank. And I have to admit, surprisingly, a very good tank on the Omen. Now this is also partially a big failure because I forgot to equip Predator Disruptor and a Predator Web, so I have to orbit closer than usual. And of course a fail because I actually lost points on the Omen for a split second, which could mean that they could have warped away if they were aligned. Omen Navy slowly going down. My lasers surprisingly not doing too much damage. They have good resistances on armor. At least dual medium armor repairs on the Omen Navy. Their capacitor should be empty by now. or close to empty unless they have capacity batteries. The Omen is now in the hole. One more hit should do the job. Nice. Alright, let's go and check out the wreck. It reminds me of the good old days where I used my faction ships to hunt in low sec. Oh, that was a pretty good Omen actually. A lot of C-types. Well, glad that I did engage. This ship was actually pretty good in the end. Not
Warp
bad.
drive active.
Alright, now let's warp away from the mission. And let's wait out the timer. Well then, that would be it for today. You know, when I think about it, I actually did make a lot of big mistakes in the past. And I guess that's okay, after all. I am human after all, I hope, so mistakes are just part of how things go. But as usual, I learned from the mistakes and going on to improve. That's what I have been doing for basically 2 years of playing this game. So hope that you enjoyed this little roam. Hope that you enjoyed my little failures here. I'm pretty sure that there'll be more fails in the future, but I guess that's going to be entertaining in their own way. With that being said, stay safe, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.